Today I'm going to share with you my experience with bronze casting while in college. Here's my Lily the ladybug sculpture and Toby the turtle, which are two characters I created for a storybook project in a watercolor class. Lily and her friends from the story became the subjects for many of my projects in college. In our sculpture class, we used the lost wax method to make our bronze sculptures. So first we had to carve and sculpt everything in wax, and then after that we created a mold around our wax figure. So right now I am dipping my wax piece in the plaster, and then I will be sprinkling it with a silica material. And we had to continue this process of dipping in plaster and then sprinkling with silica to create a strong mold. And after that, we could cast our pieces in bronze, which is one of the most exciting parts to see in this whole process. After the first dip into the plaster, I have to make sure that all those little details, like little crevices and everything, is filled with plaster to make sure it's really covered well in all those little details. And then my friend Kim is sprinkling the silica over the wet plaster. And here again, this is after I built up. This must be after a second or third time dipping it in plaster, and then Kim is coating it with the silica. Here's my Toby the turtle with the mold drying, and then my friend Jerry's sculpture, her mold is also drying right there. Next is the most exciting part of the process. Here is the crucible getting warmed up with the bronze inside, and it is just going to be just this glowing color when they remove it. It's very cool to see. So here they're going to remove the crucible with the bronze. And the bronze pour days were always such an exciting time. You could hear like just the rumbling in the foundry area and in the hallways, and it was so much fun. It was a fun experience. Right now they are working on removing any impurities from the bronze that have floated up after the bronze has been melted down. And after the impurities are removed, they will begin pouring the melted bronze into each mold. And during this process, it can be kind of nerve-wracking because sometimes the molds will have a leak and you'll see the bronze start to spurt out, and that is one thing that you do not want to happen when you have spent all that time making your sculpture and then having leaks come out. Thankfully, with the two sculptures that I made, that did not happen with my molds. Coming up in this, the mold they're about to pour into, you will see that there are some leaks in the mold. You'll see the bronze spurting out right there. Not a fun thing to happen. I don't know about you, but I just love watching the glowing bronze go into the molds. It's very cool to see. If you ever get to see something like this in person, it is such a captivating experience with all the excitement in the room and the warmth and rumbling from the foundry area. And I just love it. I really enjoyed being part of the bronze pour days. And here at the end, they poured the leftover bronze into ingot so they could save it for next time. Then they turned off all the lights in the room to take a closer look at the molds to make sure that there weren't any leaks or cracks in them. I really enjoyed my experience casting two bronze sculptures, but I realized for my storybook sculptures that they worked better when I used Apoxie Sculpt, because I could hand paint them and bring out their character more. So I'm going to show you one of the very first sculptures I made with Apoxie Sculpt, which was Strings the Cricket playing the violin. And then next to him is his friend Frankie the Frog playing the tuba. And that semester I made those sculptures, my teacher asked me if I wanted them in the honors show. I think that both of these sculptures are my two favorites from all the storybook sculptures that I have created. Here I am at the honors show with both Strings and Frankie. In this photo you can see more of my storybook sculptures made with Apoxie Sculpt and hand painted, which I think was more effective than using the bronze for my sculptures. Strings the Cricket would like to know what you think. Let him know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!